You know, it's been a while. Let's do a garden tour, shall we? So basically, here's what's left of me hardening off the tomatoes. There's a few banana peppers in there. You might be asking yourself, why haven't you put them out there yet? Well, for this Memorial Day weekend, we are supposed to get some rain. It's supposed to get cold, and I'm talking like it's not even gonna break 60 degrees. So just gonna wait it out till after the weekend, and after that, these guys should be good to go, and I'll go ahead and put them in. Cucamelons, dying to get out there, but I'll tell you, when it gets cold, these are the first things to go. So once it gets warm though, I think these things are really going to take off. And here's just some of the remaining plants that need to go out. So we have some bee balm out here, and we definitely have cucumbers that want to get out there. Again though, it needs to start getting warmer, which will happen soon. And just a couple San Marzanos left, and I'll get those hardened off. We'll get them outside. Good morning, ladies. How are we this morning? What about these ladies over here? They have really done well. They're starting to take to going into the coop at night by themselves when it gets dark. Only had to put a light in there one night, and they knew what to do. So awesome. Who says you can't train a chicken? All right, guys, check it out. Here's the glass gem corn. It is coming up. It is ready to start growing. I am so happy about this. If you look in here, how healthy is the soil? We got some mushrooms happening. That is a good sign, you guys. And I just kind of mulched this in. It's holding the moisture like a champ. So excited, very excited to see that. Onions, potatoes, champs right now. I think we're gonna have one heck of a harvest with this. Chives, what can I say? Those things are absolute beasts. If you have a hard time growing herbs, consider getting chives. Man, these things are prolific. First year you'll probably get a decent amount, but I'll tell you, the second year, once spring hits, these things came up like beasts. Yeah, great thing to have. So here are the two Amish paste tomatoes that I actually did in pots. People say, how is it growing in containers versus growing in the garden? And I think the key that kind of separates garden from container, first off, you got to make sure that you have tons, and I mean tons, of nutrients for that plant to feed off of in the container. Secondly, mulch the heck out of it, because these things tend to dry out a lot quicker than in the garden. Now, I literally just put in seeds for the sunflowers, for the honey nut squash, and for the sugar pumpkins. So nothing yet, but I did put in mulch to keep it moist. Definitely improve the germination rate, I think, on that. And yeah, it'll just protect it, because this thing really gets beat in the early afternoon with sun. So mulch, guys, it is the key. I am telling you, do not garden this year without putting in mulch. Peas are looking absolutely fantastic. They're actually starting to wrap their way around the cattle panel trellis, which is an excellent sign. Then we come around to the front here, we have our lettuce, and there's also some radishes in here, and then a few turnips. And it looks like there was a few stray seeds that kind of wandered off in there. Eventually that's going to be tomatoes and banana peppers in this bare spot, but in a garden you do tend to get volunteer plants. Speaking of volunteer, let me show you what I mean by that. Okay, so we had dill last year that was in one location. One location. I want to show you where this thing spread to. You got one here. You got some here. One over here. And more over here. Dill. It spreads where the heck it wants to spread, guys. Now I did end up putting in a few tomatoes just kind of as test tomatoes to see how they were going to do. I hardened them off quite a bit. There's still a little bit of damage it looks like to it, but I think they're going to bounce back just fine. We did put in some marigolds. I think marigolds are a great thing to plant along with tomatoes. Kind of keeps the bugs out. And we did bamboo this year for trellising. I'm going to be putting out a video very soon to show you just how I plant my tomato seedlings. Now there's a few things in here that you probably have heard of from other people when it comes to planting them, and there might be a few things that it's kind of new to you, so stick around. I definitely am looking forward to making that video showing you guys just how to have a really successful tomato crop for the year. Now this was the strawberry bed. It's toast just because I haven't seen any green coming up from it, and I think the reason for that, I think why the strawberries didn't come back, I think it's because it's in an elevated bed. I think it got too cold this year, and I think no matter how much mulch you put in there, there's nothing that can be done. Those just got to be in the ground. So what I put in place are the Walla Walla onion starts that I grew myself, and they took really, really fast. I'm telling you, if you want to grow onions, you will not be disappointed. Now guys, I've been talking about the tea garden for quite a while now, and wanted to show you kind of the almost end result that we have going on here. So if you recall, we had these 3 trees back here, and this was nothing but bare, just sand. It was dead soil. So we came in and we put in a lot of compost. Put in some cocoa coir for water retention, and just dumped a bunch of mulch on it this past week. And I gotta say, I am loving the look of this. This was my wife's idea to make this happen this year, and I am not disappointed. Not much going on in it right now, but I'm telling you, by the end of the season, this thing's gonna be jam-packed. Oh, and by the way, I'm talking softly so they don't think I'm talking over here, but my neighbors behind here, I just found out that they put their bees in their hive yesterday. We saw him out here in his beekeeping outfit and put those suckers in. So we're excited, because guess where they're gonna go? They're gonna go right over here. I'm sure their yard too, because there's a lot of flowers there, but other than their house and our house, that's basically where all the flowers are. So why am I so excited about that, guys? I'm gonna get pollination galore. this year. So super excited. I'm so glad they got that. And over here in kale corner, guys, you can definitely see we got the cover crop coming up, which is the clover, but there definitely is kale that is coming up as well. And like I said before, what we're going to do is just kind of let this go. We're not going to pick it. We're not going to do anything with it. We're going to wait till pretty much October, November, when the leaves are super thick on this thing. And that's ideally when you want to pick it. That's when the leaves are going to be nice and sweet. You won't have as bitter of a taste. But kale corner is going to be a really good spot this year. And then we have the little pot over here that's next to the coop that has the garden sage and lemon balm. Lemon balm is absolutely spreading like a weed. It absolutely loves it out here. Again, lemon balm is going to be something that we can do for tea. We'll cut a bunch of that up, dehydrate it, and there's tea. And here's just kind of some things we just kind of mixed in together. A little bit of kale, different types of kale, and some spearmint. And over here, we're gonna find something to go in there very, very shortly, but this is actually the spearmint. The other one was peppermint. Spearmint is gonna be an awesome one also for tea. Guys, if you have ever thought about growing your own ingredients for tea, it is way easier than you think. Majority of it is gonna be a mint of some kind. Now, mint, I'm gonna tell you right now, don't ever buy mint from a nursery or the hardware store. Just get some seed. Guys, this stuff is the easiest stuff in the world to grow. And I'll tell you, it's worth spending $1 for seeds versus $4 for just a little tray of pre-grown mint. Save yourself some money. Grow it from seed. You definitely can do this. I had green onions in here last year with the smaller garden that this was in, and wasn't quite sure if the green onions were going to make it. I think they made it, guys. Let me tell you something that I noticed after I put a lot of mulch back here. The raspberries took off. They absolutely loved having compost and then that mulch put on top. It's locking in that moisture, giving them plenty of nutrients. Man, we're gonna have a really awesome raspberry harvest, I think, this year. And they're just popping up all over too, so raspberries, love it. And lastly, our Columbine, which is super close to blooming. I'll tell you, in Colorado, Columbine is one of the prettiest things, I think, to look at. It's state flower, beautiful flower. Cannot wait to show you guys what these things look like when they open. And that's about all I got for today, guys. Like I said, I really wanted to get the tomatoes out, but we got some cold rain coming, believe it or not. Even at the end of May, we're still not ready for tomatoes yet, but it's close. It's super close. So, guys, I hope you have a great Memorial Day weekend. Don't forget why we celebrate it. Remember those who paid the ultimate sacrifice. Till then, this is Jeremy with Fleetwood Patch saying, you got this. Take care, guys.